that, you know, regardless of what, you think you want to or should be doing, in a certain situation with a certain deal, a certain property, a certain opportunity, ultimately, the market, dictates a lot of what the outcome will be in a particular deal. It really does. The market has a lot to do, and that's why it's so critical even today and what's going on with the economy and, we got tariffs, we got downward pressure, we got upward pressure from different directions in our economy. It creates a lot of uncertainty in the market and makes it very difficult for investors and developers to to decide a path.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
I'm your host, Michelle Kessel, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm looking forward to chatting with, Antonio Womack, who has been making serious moves as an investor and developer in the Baltimore area. So excited to have you here today, Antonio.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching your market, closing the deals, investing, the access to capital, and all the new projects that you guys
Absolutely.
are working toward.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't mind, when we start, I'm gonna go back a little bit and talk about a little tiny bit of my past because I think it's important to where I am now.
Absolutely. Let's start with that. How did you get to where you are now? How did you get
Okay.
started in this?
Yeah, so, well, way back when I purchased a restaurant with some friends. We owned that restaurant for a number of years. It actually did pretty well. It was a very successful restaurant in Baltimore. We ended up selling it, about 4 or 5 years later when we just got tired of working 16-hour days, and we sold it for a profit. And I bankrolled my part of that into real estate investment and real estate development, and started my first company back in 2001. It's called CIMG. And I really didn't know much about this business. I didn't. I was kind of learning as I went. It was really a pull yourself up by your own bootstraps kind of situation. I did have a few people around me that were mentoring a bit, but honestly, I was learning as I went. So that company, CIMG, from 2001 to 2006 was growing. We had about 100 by 2006, $160 million worth of projects under development. They ranged between 120 units and 160 units. What happened? What happened was 2008, 2009. And if you were around and in this business, you witnessed it. And it was the first time I'd ever really witnessed um, uh, a downfall of an economy. Okay. So I felt it full brunt. We were in the middle of construction on 30, $40 million projects at a time, multiple projects, and the economy crashed. Banks started calling notes. And I thought it was the end of the world, period. That's just what it was, right? And so
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
that's an important part of who I am and where I am, right? Because it took some time to kind of get back up and start to figure out what direction I wanted to head back in and rebuild. Part of that process was going back to work. I went back to work and was a business liaison and then a managing director of food nutrition for Baltimore City Schools. So I took a big detour, totally different direction, right? Didn't want to see a piece of real estate except the one I lived in, right? And thought I would never get back into business. But I ended up writing a book, got published in 2014 by Waldorf, went on a book tour, and then an opportunity came around 2017 for me to get back in the real estate game. And it was a development opportunity. I looked at it. I jumped in with some other partners, and that was my first re-entry back into development. And my second was a project that we discussed a little bit earlier, and that's a 99 unit project that I'm a partner in on Park Avenue in Baltimore. It was a RFP that we won. We bid, we won, and it's been a long haul. We've been working on that one for 5, 6 years, but it's finally coming to completion. We're getting ready to deliver it within the next week or so. We'll be delivering the product, and so I'm happy about that. So that's kind of a little bit about who I am, where I come from, and how I got here.
Amazing. I love your story. So cool to see how you started from one point and got to where you are now. So, yeah, for those that are just getting familiar with you, what is like your main focus now? What are you up to these days?
Well, so the good thing about Baltimore and the market that I'm in right now is that the market here has been pretty steady in terms of it being a seller's market. So the component of real estate we do is this: I've got some development projects, but I also have some investment projects. So and I also do flips. I'm in every part of that market. So I've right now we're engaged in 4 flips in this market. The market here is pretty strong. Folks are still buying. It's pretty stable. So that's a really good thing. I also invest. So we purchase. When I say we, I really mean I, because it's. I mean, I'm pretty much the sole owner of the company, but I purchase multifamily properties that I hold. So I flip single families. I hold multifamily, and part of that multifamily is our new student housing portfolio. It's boutique housing. So we're not going after like the 2, 3, 400 bed developments at this point. Right now, I'm focusing on anything from 10 to 80 beds. That's boutique student housing in areas that are critical, schools that need the housing. One of them here is Morgan State University, the illustrious Morgan State University. They have hundreds of kids still on the waiting list after school has even started. And they're just one. There's lots of schools that need student housing. My youngest son is at Syracuse University. They need extra student housing. So it's across the board. It's a huge need. So we're going to fill that need. We're going to help fill that gap. And so we just finished our first one. It leased up in 3 weeks. We have another one that we have site control of that'll close next week. And we plan on having that leased up by next semester. So it's just just part of a ongoing portfolio.
Amazing. Sounds like you're doing some really powerful service helping those that need it in your community.
Definitely, absolutely, yeah.
Mm.
It's all about community for sure.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Some. So, what are some of your goals? Where do you see your business heading? What are some of your dreams and where would you like to go?
Well, part of this mission that I'm on now in this phase of my life and my career is about legacy building. I have two sons, and I'd like to create a body of properties of wealth and legacy that I can pass on to them, and that they can continue to build and develop and make the impactful kind of changes that we make in communities all across Baltimore. That's one of the beautiful things about what we do. I love going into a building that's vacant, dilapidated, and seeing it 6 months later, 3 months later, 5 months later, and seeing something that people want to claim as home. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful part of the journey. And so for me, that's part of what I want to continue. Like, I don't really see myself retiring per se, because I really love what I do. I love this work. And so I don't really see myself retiring from it. I want to keep doing it until my bones and my hands and my brain won't allow me to do it anymore. That's when I'll stop. But yeah, so that's kind of what my end goal is. And I guess if there was a dream attached to it, my dream would be to take this beyond just our market and maybe into a market that's more regional and national, maybe.
Absolutely. I love that. It's definitely possible for you. Amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
let me ask you this, of course. Every business owner has those moments where things get real. Maybe you have a deal that goes sideways or you need to make a fast pivot. Would you mind sharing one of
Yeah.
those moments for you?
Wow. Wow. God, there's been so many times on so many deals where you have to make a pivot. Um in terms of any particular deal, I remember there was one deal that we were working on that was a development opportunity that it was another RFP that we had won. This is back in my former company, not this current company. And what happened was, the market, when we won the RFP, we were going to build 160 apartments, and it was over top of a garage near a very popular market in Baltimore. And the problem was, when the partners that I bought in were a national development company. I was a small company. They were a national development company who were going to come in, basically bankroll the project, and we were partnering to make that happen, right? I was the local boots on the ground. And when you win an RFP, it's a big deal. You're getting this property. The city has accepted your offer. They're giving you the keys to be able to move forward on it. But when the partners came into town and we walked the property, they saw some things here that they weren't comfortable with near the property, around the property, and then the rents that we needed to achieve at the time. When they did the market study, it demonstrated that that property, if built at that time, would not achieve the rents that it needed to achieve to be able to pull the deal off. Now, quite frankly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have probably, I would have made very good money, 7 figures in that deal. I wanted that deal to happen very much, but I couldn't change the circumstance. I couldn't change the market and where it was at that point. And so the pivot was we literally had to go back to the city.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
After we got that market study and say, we can't do this deal now. We're not going to be able to move forward with this RFP that we were just won, beat out other people for it, because the market is simply not going to support the rents that we have to charge to make the deal work. That was difficult, and we had to pivot away from it and actually move to, look at other deals, which we eventually found something else, but that was a tough situation, and you've gotta be ready to make the big boy decisions, when the time comes. That was just one of those times. I did not wanna walk away from that deal, but we had no choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What did you learn from that experience?
Well, that you know, regardless of what, you think you want to or should be doing, in a certain situation with a certain deal, a certain property, a certain opportunity, ultimately, the market, dictates a lot of what the outcome will be in a particular deal. It really does. The market has a lot to do, and that's why it's so critical even today and what's going on with the economy and, we got tariffs, we got downward pressure, we got upward pressure from different directions in our economy. It creates a lot of uncertainty in the market and makes it very difficult for, investors and developers to to decide a path. See, every time you move forward on a development deal, quite different than an investment deal. I've done both. And development deals take years to matriculate. It's not something you wake up, decide you're going to do, and then tomorrow you get to build it. No, you've got to go through entitlements. You have to go through all the legal, work. You've got lots of work to do to get a property ready. That's a development property that you're building from ground up to get it ready for market. That could take 2 to 4 years easily. Well, if you're in uncertain economic times or political times and you're not sure which direction things are going to go, it's difficult to plan through that. But if you have a project that is only a 3-month flip, well, I'll take that chance because in 3 months, I can see 3 months ahead and predict better on what outcomes look like in that situation. And so it's a bit safer, to be honest with you, to invest in short term in uncertain markets than it is to develop in long term in uncertain markets. That's an incredible lesson for anyone who's going to watch this.
Absolutely. That's so important and so wise. Thank you for sharing that. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So, what are some of the things that you're focused on solving right now? I know you mentioned the student housing, but are there other areas or developments or investments that you're focusing on?
Um, I mean, multifamily, student housing is one facet of multifamily as far as, we look at it. We consider student housing multifamily. But we have another whole section. I'm settling on a smaller multifamily. It's only 12 units, but it's we're getting it for a great price. Matter of fact, at one point it was literally valued at 2.1 million when it was operating, and we're picking it up for 1,000,000, because it went into foreclosure. It needs some work, it needs some love, and we're gonna put that love in it, and we're gonna get it back, in the market and back on the tax roll for the city. So, that's gonna be another big part of what we intend to do and what our focus is moving forward will be continue to move forward on multifamily projects and again some of them are smaller and then we'll with this particular model, I mean, we'll go up to maybe 30, 40, 50 units. Now there's a whole nother segment past that. When I start looking at size of developments past that, it gets more to development than it is just investment for us. I mean, we could certainly you could go in and purchase a turnkey 300 unit development if that's what you want. That's not what we do. I don't buy at the top of the market. I buy add value properties because we have construction experience. So I buy properties that are add value that we can go in, add value to, and turn them around.
Yeah,
So for us,
absolutely.
anything over 50 units is most likely going to be a development. That's the point. It's not going to be just an investment.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with where your business is. Yeah, how it's structured.
Yeah, definitely.
So, when it comes to growing your network, building relationships, expanding your business in that sense, what are some
Yeah.
things that have made the biggest difference for you?
That's a very good question. I will tell you that networking has always been my strong point. One of the reasons I was able to grow the first business from 2001 when I started to 2007, 6, 7, where we were doing $100 million, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of deals, is a lot of that had to do with networking. It's the fact that I was out, shaking hands at events, lots of networking events, lots of political events, meeting the right people, rubbing shoulders, and making those connections. That's something that I've just always had in my wheelhouse. It's always been one of my assets, and it continues to be. I don't do that as much as I used to, mainly because I don't really think that I'm not in a position where I need to be out like I was when I first started. You really when you're first starting and trying to make your way and make the get the relationships and make the connections, you got to be out there. You got to be networking. You got to be going to events where like-minded people are, where real estate experts are, where bankers are. You got to be out there. Now I have a lot of those relationships. And so it's a matter of just picking up the phone, making the right calls. And don't get me wrong, I still network. I still go out occasionally, especially when it's this right type of events where I know key people that I have to get to are there. So that's definitely a big, big part of the process and of the journey. And I'd advise anybody who's looking to uh, move forward and build a real estate portfolio or real estate career, networking is the most important part of that process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Relationships are everything in this space.
Everything. Yeah, definitely. Do you get a chance to network a lot as well?
Well, I'm in a bit of a different role, so it's not exactly the same.
Okay. Got you. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love
Um,
to do it. So I don't know if you're
yeah,
a gregarious, outgoing kind of, hitting the events kind of person, but I'm out, I still go out and still try to get some networking done.
absolutely. It's so important to meet people and see how everyone can be of value to one another.
Absolutely.
So, before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, collaborate with you, where can people find you and connect with you?
They can reach me at A-Rod at Trust Properties, spelled out, trustproperties.net. They can reach me at AR Womack at Live, Live, and it's RWOMACK at LIV as in Victor E.com. Both my emails are, I check them every day. And I'm very accessible by email. And look, if you're in Baltimore, if you're looking to do some business, if you want to know more about real estate in general, feel free to reach out to me.
Perfect. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. So thank you for being here.
Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate you too. Let's do it again.
Yes, of course. And for those tuning into the show, if you got value, make sure that you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators just like Antonio who are building real businesses. And we'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.